And we're back for our last stakes action of the day here for 2024. Keith Fusel joining me on today at the races. Tori Alba with 2 wins yesterday. Keith, you mentioned that the track played pretty fair yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, if you could, maybe the slightest of outer leans, but, we had a horse come up the rail, make a big run, yodel, EAO,
Okay,
and
then.
everything like that. So I think all in all, on the fair side, it's a couple big performances yesterday. Quinn Canada horse for TJ Aguirre, we had mentioned, is a sneaky little value shot. Got it done at $14. Wooster a 92 buyer winning, feeling woozy. 92 confidently handled, was feeling woozy. That was Tori Alba, right? And,
Opposite of woozy.
yeah.
Straightforward.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So, yeah, all in all, pretty decent day. We kind of knocked around, I thought boxing some of the selections, you should have made a little bit of coin yesterday. I really like today's card. I like a lot, like 3 or 4 horses, a lot. So there could be a park bench waiting for me after today, about 5:30, 6 o'clock. Anybody might have to take me in because I'll probably get kicked out of the house for what I'm going to throw it down today. But, hey, we're going to jump in. We're going to dive in. Sloppy silt track, unfortunately, that we're going to deal with, and some rain again. Throughout the afternoon and maybe into tomorrow as well.
Pretty soupy today here on the track, but to me that makes this card even just another kink in the twist of being more exciting here for this Saturday. And we're going to start things off with this early pick 5 and a claiming $20,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won. 3 going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt, scratching the 5. Paco the Taco Man. Keith, you have the number 7. Nancy Made My Day. This is for Farrier. Julio Hernandez here. We've got a nice Keith Fusel stat for us to start off on Saturday.
Farrier doing well here. Last 3 years on the dirt, 9 for 33, 27%, 22 of 33 in the money. First off the claim, and this little jump off, 50% of that last tag going upwards. I tell you, RY 242, Nancy Made My Day, third off a little bit of a break. I think improved form, positional speed. You've got the scratch of Paco the Taco Man, who I thought was going to take rating today and try to move into this flow. I think Nancy Made My Day might be a little bit forward in here, along with Mr. Agent, possibly Beach Cowboy and the Big Enchilada. But I like the tracking position here at 6 furlongs. Hopefully we can, I've got inside horses, outside horses. I want a fair track, but maybe in the first race we get a little outer flow that works for Nancy Made My Day to be up with the pace and keep going. Positive trend here for Farrier.
Okay, there we go. Talking about the number 6 just to the inside. Mr. Agent, love this pick. Joanne Schenkel, Thais Pustina, coming off from that 12-5 up to the 20 off of that muddy effort last time out.
Yeah, 5-time winner into this split condition. The 3-0 with 5 wins by Blofeld. Can handle some moisture in the racetrack. I know no wins, but a buyer closer to 70 is going to work in this situation. This horse has shown some heart. Has been in some okay flows and stayed around. I don't think things are going to be terribly demanding. Maybe this one horse will go ahead, your top selection, and send out of there as well. But I think Mr. Agent is a stayer in here along with Nancy Made My Day. If you're looking for somebody from a little bit further off the pace, Beach Cowboy, that's a trending move. Second off the claim in a race is a positive ROI here. 311 for Rudy Sanchez-Salomon going off of Kieran. And the 8, Midnight Renegade. We saw Lacey Gaudette. I think now her 3rd winner in, say, the last couple of weeks. Got it done with a claim of Sugar Steve. That was another big performance by Sugar Steve yesterday. I did not get the buy on that, but I think it had to be in the 80s. But a little adversity last time. Found itself well off the pace. Looked like it was going to make a nice run. And then got a little erratic, drifted in a touch in the stretch, straightened away, but kept on willingly. Things might set up well enough for Barn, again, trending in the right direction. Midnight Renegade to sit back, let things develop and make a run to it. 7-6-8-3, but a little and a lot. I guess you're saying all systems go, Callie, from the inside?
This isn't all systems go, but I'm using it as an all or nothing bet.
Okay.
So in fact, I would love to switch around I would love to go actually 1-7-3-6 because I love, it's either inside or outside of what you're going to be playing. But I love the fact, this one jumps so gaudy in that number off of the mud and moves forward. I'm just saying, hey, if like I said, just place. That's a horse that you bet to win or nothing. So all or nothing there for my inside pick on the number 1 for Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez. 7-6-8-3. Keith Fusel, as he mentioned here for this first leg of the early pick 5. We go to the early pick 4 that starts in race number 2 in this maiden claiming 12-5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls 3, 4, and 5. Scratching the 7, scratching the 10. You and I both land on the inside. My Sassy Valentine for Charlie Frock. Tori Alba gets the call. We're going to take a look at that effort, going 5.5 last time out.
I guess the break was the key. Did not come away the cleanest, right? Now their horse kind of comes in, bumps, and forced inward. Pretty solid contact there as well. And then this demanding ask, I would say. Acosta kind of trying to get into position, had to get up in between horses because didn't really want to get caught in and behind horses and have to steady early. So thrust into the race was she into this opening quarter mile. So she went quick. Aunt Margaret up on the lead. And I think all things considered is able to garner command, gets the lead, goes clear, but just can't hold this last 3/16 of a mile. It was the other Frock, right? Bonds Bell that got it done. And Bonds Bell become a key in these 12-5 maiden fillies. I thought this effort from the top of the stretch home is good enough.
Well, what we just are seeing right now is kind of paying the price of what we saw after the math of that, not so, a little bit of a gnarly break. So when you kind of do that late early move, that late move into the first quarter of a race, especially a sprinting race like this for a bunch of 12-5s, that's it. You're gonna have to pay the piper at the wire, and that's exactly what happened. So you take that away. This one definitely belongs here, absolutely, Keith.
Yeah, and the three, I think, Sweet Honey Bee took back, has shown speed in the past, took back last time, made another little move before fading. Red Hat Italian, a big run there. 11 flat was the winning time for that maiden 15. Well, that horse was in for 15, but that's because of the waiver. But anyhow, I think these two, if they don't go crazy up front, let's if one wants to go, then the other shadow, vice versa, and they can kind of take it a long way in race 2. If you're looking for maybe a little stranger here, little surprised at this big drop for the 9 from Maja, but you got this one in the mix as well. Out of a pretty quick race, 24-1 for that 7/8 in the maiden 30. Outrun caught wide. But when you look at the figs, just a slight improvement, and this class drop could put this one in the right position here for the 9 Pramaggio. 1-3-9-2. I think Sipping Time is interesting as well. This horse did not run a great race in the muddy sealed surface down inside behind first to arrive. You go back to that 47-40 buyer figures at the 2 races prior. It's good enough to work, and this horse, I think, has the closing style to get it into the mix at 6 furlongs.
Why not? 1-3-9-2 there for race 2. Starting the early pick 4 as we go on to race number 3. An allowance optional, 62.5, going 1 mile and 16th on the dirt. For these 2-year-olds, scratches in the 2, pay Billy. They like that horse. The number 7, Top Blood. You have the number 1 on top, Bjorn, Hugh McMahon, Wes Hamilton. Let's take a look at that winning effort last time out.
This was a pretty salty debut. I tell you what. Look at this beginning. A little steady, a little roughed up, checked, you name it. Giving away at least 3-4 lengths of those leaders in that opening, 60, 70 yards. This was tough, right? No way is this horse going to be able to overcome that adversity. First time out. It's a trainer as well. Not really a first time out kind of a winning trend for this barn. They usually take a couple races and they get going. But look at this move by Bjorn. Was able to get to position, 23-247-1. Not the quickest, but just the way that he does it. And he angles out here, 3-4 wide, top of the stretch. Sustains the run to go clear. I believe we've had some horses come out of there to run well. A couple of horses. Daddy Yankee Crab Daddy went up and won at stake. So maybe this final time isn't the strongest, and the buyer a shade light to compare to a couple of these other ones. Man, that was showing some talent there. And I think Bjorn can move up with a better break here and stretch out. Looks like a horse that can definitely go further. And Robin and I were talking a little bit earlier on the ride down. This horse down the road, turf could be really to its liking. So I'll take a shot here with Bjorn off of that visually impressive debut. The horses maybe to beat the 3 and the 4. Analog Jones coming in off of a trouble trip. They thought enough to go down to Churchill, right? Man, they had a horse in a stake down there that day that took another one down. Analog Jones, though, steadied, an early move, but this horse 2 races back absolutely destroyed a field at Parks. Got to the front, had to be nudged early, but then was pretty much handy the rest of the way, just the slightest of hand rides from there. I think you'll see this horse aggressively ridden by Hernandez to go ahead and get the lead. If this horse relaxes up front on an off-track, maximum security top side, 14% on an off-track, that's good enough. And that race 2 back at Parks did produce a couple winners. So I like the 1, I like the 3. Best Run Rocket, my only hiccup here. Got involved in a quicker flow. Just the number regressed, maybe because of the trip on the off track and gets back to that off track today. But you're looking at Curlins. They usually thrive on an off track. So Bjorn will be my key in here. Hopefully, I don't know what kind of price we'll get on it. It's a shorter field now. Another horse that's bred, Cal, I mean, when you look at this breeding, the 6 horse, there's a Curlin, and you look at some of the family, this horse goes first off the claim in a jump to DePaz. Yeah, half to graded stakes place of Venetian Harbor. I think one also on a wet track, and another one ran really well on the off-going. So there's a lot of breeding to like there for an off track with Urban Symphony.
Yep, I think that horse is going to move forward there on this surface. Absolutely. 1, 3, 4, 6. Keith Fustel there in race number 3. As we go down to race number 4, we also start with the Rainbow Pick 6 as well. Remember, we have mandatory payouts on Sunday tomorrow, and we will highlight that more tomorrow as the day goes on. And it is also providing a ticket by me. 3 deep in the first 3 races. I single in on race number 7 on Caprice there in the stakes action. Let me double check. In the Gin Talking, yep, Caprice there for my single. 4 deep in race number 8, 2 and 8. You want to add in the 5 there in that last race, $43.20. Like I said, mandatory blowout payments that we have for tomorrow in these pools, and it does begin here in a maiden special weight. Going 7 furlongs on the dirt for these 2-year-old fillies, scratching the 3, scratching the 7. Go with the number 4, not the first time here, a 3rd time starter for Horacio DePaz. Blinkers on. Jamie Rodriguez, I got so intrigued by this one, especially with this surface changeup.
Yeah, we're going to get a muddy track off of that fast track in New York, and I also like the scratch of the 3, Happy Hour Joker, who I thought was going to be part of the flow and going to be the main nemesis up front with not the first time. A little bit dirtied up form. 8th beaten 13 in debut on the turf. 6th beaten 25. Negative inside, especially from the head of the lane home at Aqueduct. This horse is by a stallion who's 19% with his off-track runners. 5 works since that race. This is the first one I'm going to step in on. J-Rod, get to the front, nurse, release, do whatever you got to do. Let's get it done on the front end here for the 4, not the first time.
Also talking about the number 1 to the inside for your exacta. Late night call, Niall Seville with Forrest Boyce with the blinkers on, taking a look at that effort. First start, last out.
A couple horses out of this video right on the 15th. Chicken Lickin' is in here as well, and there might have been one other horse might have scratched it. Anywho, late night call. Bumped around at the break, found herself, 8-10 lengths out of it through that opening furlong to the quarter mile into the turn. But all in all, I thought, working out a trip, the final 3/16 of a mile missed notion, just a tremendous effort here, 1:10 and 3. Working outward, final 1/8 of a mile, stride's okay, just kind of grinding it out. And I think the extra ground is going to be okay. This is a horse that's half to Mr. Jefferson, who's handled the longer distances. His top side, audible's okay, 13%. Triple key race there. Now I think it's a triple key. And Matt Fermetti, I know, and Stella Evaloche came out of there to win. I think 7/8 works for late night call and Forrest Boyce to make the run off the pace.
I definitely see it. You mentioned Chicken Lickin' for Ollie Figgins with Toledo here, looking to stretch out. If they play to the same way they go last time out, definitely fits for the distance.
Steady improvement. Final time 14, a little heavier surface that day, but looking like the extra furlong against this group is going to work. Leo Ambrogi's horse on the 8th, slightly against the grain. Kept on well behind Chicken Lickin' is a user. But my key here, you talked all or nothing with your horse. I'm all or nothing here with the 4, not the first time.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, 4-1-5-8 there for race number 4, the first leg of that Rainbow Pick 6 as we go ahead to the first leg of the late pick 5 in this allowance optional 40,000, 12% takeout, going 5.5 on the dirt for the girls, 3 and up scratch, and the 2 Loving Cup. You go with the number 3 on the top end. Matitude, I almost went with this one as well. This race, a little bit of a spread for me here.
Okay.
Jose Magana, Torrealba, I definitely see it, especially kind of coming back and getting some confidence in that starter optional last.
Yeah, I think, Torrealba, after that little trouble there at the half-mile pole, a little steady and tight, and then worked out a trip from there. The flow was a little slower. Roper Whisper and Brazina kind of took it, I think, from the 5/16 pole to the wire. But Matitude has that positional speed to track. Winky, 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 beachfront breeze, Dice Surprise. they like to kind of go. I think pocket trip with a good break. Get out of the gate, get position into the turn. Matitude can stalk and pounce here. Magana going to get back to the winner's circle here sooner or later. Let's make it today for Matitude. 2 for 8, 6 for 8 in the money on the off-going bet. I think this horse can slide into a very, very good trip. Winky, 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 the one likes to fight it out. We've got video of that most recent race on December the 6th, also involving Peak of Chic, the 7-horse this afternoon. Susan's Mule up on the front is going to open up here top of the stretch. You're thinking these horses that are chasing and fade, they're just going to fade away. But Susan's Mule kind of gets a little bit weary the last 16th of a mile, and you're going to see Peak of Chic works off the inside, and Winky, Winky, Winky to both make another rebid into this somewhat tiring rival. She's going to be able to hold on. But Winky, 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 I think is going to go ahead and get sent. Peak of Chic, the scratch of the 2 helps. Won't have to be maybe caught that wide. Second off the break for a very capable barn. 3, 7, 1, 5 to 3. My key in race number 5.
There we go, and we will be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Saturday's card. Welcome back to the start of the Jackpot Super High Five. Of course, this is a good race to have, always that Jackpot Super High Five. A little bit of a head scratcher here, Keith, that also starts the late pick for you. Provided us with a ticket. Yeah, no single on this sequence.
$27. Yeah, you know, I do think a lot. And, you know, Caprice certainly at about 2 to 5 today. He's going to be a single for everybody. But we saw what happened yesterday when I singled Gary Capp's horse and did not my original ticket was like $37 an hour. I don't know why I didn't keep it. Anyhow, that's a story for another day. I like the wine. Anyhow, 3-4-8 to get you started. Utterly Enchanting Tam Chart anonymously. 2 deep, race 7. 4 and 6, not too late. Maybe pull a little upset. Race 8, 2-4-5. Barbadian Runner. Some price in there. 8-1 morning line. I like this one today with the blinks going on. Race 9, 2, 7, and 8 to wrap it up. A $27 late pick 4 ticket.
There we go. Love that sequence that we got going on there. Starts in the starter optional 12-5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls. 3 and up, scratching the 1, La Vista. You have the number 4 on top. Tam Char, love this as your gutsy top selection here. Mikey Gorham, Raul Mena steps up in class, but loves this kind of track.
Yes, does. 3 for 7, 6 for 7 in the money. Coming off a win, off a muddy sealed surface. Going to be a little sloppier out there this afternoon. A little bump up and a little protection for the barn. That is 19%, 5 for 26 over the last 30 days with a 258 ROI. I just kind of love the setup again. Tamchar's got speed, but she's got positional speed, and she's got some finish in these races at 5.5 out to 6 furlongs. And I don't think she's as fast as Golden Can, who's going to go ahead and go from the inside and speak your mind from the outside. Let them go. I think she moves up into a really, really good stalking position around the turn and can kind of make the first run. She may need the wire to save her at 3/4. Let's hope it does today, because you're looking at a 15-1 morning line.
Yep.
You know, I just think that's too much value to dismiss. Tamchar,
Agreed.
track, pounce, and hold on for dear life.
There we go. Talking about Utterly Enchanting, a barn that's on the upswing is Carlos Mencia with Toledo here teaming up. Stretching it out to the 6 furlongs, I think is going to be a big help here today. Proven to be okay on an off track.
Absolutely. 2 for 12, 6 for 12 in the money. Let's go to November the 15th. Let's go to that rewind here, because I think 5 or 6 runners are out of that race.
Yeah.
That was the optional. The starter here, 8,000 to 12. All right, where do we start? Golden Can's up on the lead, getting a little pressure. You're going to see anonymously kind of make a little bit of an earlier move. Utterly Enchanting back of the pack. Let's look at anonymously in the green cap, red shadow roll. Man, traffic 3/16 is able to work. Utterly Enchanting looked like she had to jump, right? And there's no way anonymously he's going to get there because Golden Can's home free, but not so fast. Look at this determination. Anonymously, she's 13 for 48, 26 of 48 in the money. She knows how to win. The only hiccup for her might be this off-track today. She's never won on it, but she's got to figure that most recent off-track figure is a 65. That could be good enough to win this race. They claim, but they come back for the tag. I'm thinking maybe they're going to take Source, maybe Broodmare process. I don't. Just a little suspect. Brittany, you got Sheldon. Going to be a shorter price. I think the 4 and the 3 just hold a touch more value, especially Tam Char. But good race. Genie and Abrata was also in there, had a lot of adversity through the stretch. Can definitely ramp it up from the back of the pack.
With anonymously, it's a bit of an all or nothing again there. 4-3-8-5 for you, Keith. They're in race number 6, that jackpot. Super high 5 in the start of the late pick 4. And now we move on to stakes action here. In the gin talking, going 7 furlongs here for these 2-year-old fillies. Scratching the 5 beyond belief. You go with the number 6. Not too late there for a price. Uriah St. Louis, Angel Cruz. I completely see it.
Yeah, another one. The McKenzie's early on, 26% with the off-track runners. Has a half sib that topped at an 80 on an off-track. Has run against Caprice. That was the last time in the Smart Halo. Was down inside, made a belated run. I think she's got a little bit more positional speed, and kind of reading Dan Ellman's information in Daily Racing Form, you're going to see her a little bit more forward today. Will she go on the attack early? Maybe. Caprice, though, 2-5, going to be your favorite. But I think we might have a slight upset in the making. Caprice, look at this. Well, she's perfect sprinting, right? Perfect at one turn. You got to love this. You know, the 2-back effort was really good because at no point did it look like she was going to win in the Smart Halo. She was wide and just kind of kept grinding to get up, beating Not Too Late. Here, she goes ahead, second time sprinting in a row, gets to the front, 23-1, 46-4, relaxed enough at today's distance and is able to just kind of hold firm. Safe Trust gave her a lot. Caprice just had a little bit too much. I think she's going to go ahead and be towards the front again. I see these two separating. We'll see. Atlantis Queen, My Charm, I like the 2-horse. At the distance, she's going to have to run a little bit faster, as is the 1. 4-6-6-4, but the 6 holds the better value.
Gin talking there in the number 6. Not too late for a gin there by race 7. Race number 8, we get to the heft here for 7 furlongs on the dirt for the 2-year-old boys this time. Scratches in the 1, 9, and 10. Keith, you go with the number 2 on top. Barbadian Runner, love this pick as your top selection. I was trying to figure out where I could put this one in my ticket. I just like so many. I like so many in this field, which is why I went wide on it in my ticket. So Barbadian Runner, love that. Blinkers on Henry Walters, Forrest Boyce. Just looking for a clean trip here for this one.
I've had 2 today like that, and you just completely well, you liked them, but you're right. There were so many avenues to take, and you got to settle on 4. They just didn't make the cut, but maybe Barbadian Runner can make the cut today.
Yeah, I'm not happy that I took this. I had to take this horse off my ticket at all. So for you to put it as your top selection, knife there.
Well,
but I like it.
This is a definite like. I don't really love anybody, but I'm working around prices again, and I think at this 8-1 morning line with Barbadian Runner, you have to take it. He's really never run a bad race. Steadied early in the juvenile on the December the 7th. Okay, just couldn't quite get going. It's slower internals, 23-47. Things will be quicker. The blinkers go on. I'm just hoping that he's just not a little bit too keyed up early because he's going to be able to spy. I think he's going to be trailing, leaving the 3 ace pole, but starting to ramp up. Forrest will be able to kind of navigate it from there, but this horse can bring a finish. I like 7 furlongs for him. You've got one-man team, Saxton, Yara's Quest, Shooter's got to shoot. They're going to be forward, and I think this pace will be contested. I don't think anybody wants to let anybody go ahead and go clear. That way the pressure is applied mid-turn. Look for Barbadian Runner to ramp it up, leaving to 5/16, and I think makes a good run at a good price. Sacred Thunder, another one. Early adversity, bumped around, couldn't make inroads against Tony Eclipse and Saxon, who had the better trips closer to the pace. I like Saxon here with Mosler breeding, the 4 for sure. But Video Spotlight, a horse is going to take a slew of play. Visually impressive in debut is the 3 one-man team, the 7 horse this afternoon, back in October 31st for Brittany Russell, LaPenta, Matacat. This horse looked good. I mean, everything about him, 22 and 246. Sharper internals, is able to kind of go up in between horses, 3 wide in between early to go ahead and get the lead heading to the far turn, and then takes a little bit of pressure. But when this horse feels the pressure, just goes ahead and repels. Look at this. Just nursed along, a little nudging there, top of the stretch. Bernie the Star makes that, menacing run. One-man team said, nuh-uh, sorry. Look at this guy getting ready to go. And he looks like a horse. You look at the build there. He looks like a horse that's going to stretch out.
Yeah.
So 6 furlongs really not an issue. Widening here by 6. The only negative, and we hate to do this, the old BTR, but 0 for 9 with 2-year-olds in non-graded stakes after that debut win.
Okay.
Probably going to beat me today. Going to beat me at a big price, but I go elsewhere 2-5-4. From a gambling standpoint, you got to pay attention.
You got to follow the numbers, and that's where they land. So 2-5-4-3 for Keith Fustel there in the heft. As we get to our finale here in a claiming 12-5 for the girls and up, which have never won 3. 3 years old and up, going 5.5. As I mentioned, the scratches in the 1 and the 6. Keith, the number 8 is your top selection at first sight on the outside. Hugh McMahon, Victor Carrasco, morning line 5-2.
This horse made some improvement over the summer, given a break from August to December. 23-247 at 7/8 of a mile. I like the turn back. This horse is 1 for 1 at 5.5 furlongs. I think has the speed to get great position early and bring a finish off of that tightening at 7/8.
To also discussing the number 7 to the inside is Determined Blue, Charlie Frock, Matilda Burnham, 2 for 4 on a wet dirt.
Yeah, this horse a 2-time winner, back to the condition, facing first-level allowance runners the last 2. I thought ran very, very well back in that handicap race, starter handicap Maryland Million Day. Kept on very willing. Dropped back, came again. Might have been with the best part of the racetrack. I think things set up okay. She's just going to have to be patient, work out that trip. Don't be hung too wide. But True Sunshine going to take a ton of money in here. 2-1 morning line should come down with a couple of these scratches. I don't know how far this one will come down, but made a really good run here on December the 6th. Second off the layoff, we had this one that day, was bet down to $1.30 to 1. I like this sharp run, though, early for True Sunshine. It's just, broke okay, but watch this little move right up into the turn. Wants to go ahead, gets kind of aggressive into it, and gets the attack mode. I think True Sunshine here is going to be very, very difficult. The only, bad part, there it is. Look at this run here, 3 wide, is the 0 for 3 record on and off track. If the inside starts playing a little bit funky, you'll be able to tell. But, you'll have 8 races to set you kind of up. Will Torrealba be able to work out a trip from this inner post? But this was super sharp. Kind of a gaudy number comparatively, this 65 buyer that True Sunshine comes in with.
Yeah, I
Good
see
effort.
it. I see it. This one, getting that win, I think, you do the little bit of the math of the fact that we're still at the 12-5 level on the mud. This one should be all right on it for sure. But yeah, Keith Fustel, 8, 7, 2, 9, and we will go to our lightning round to touch in and dive into those picks a little bit more. 2 value plays for us, Keith, starting in race number 5. Number 3, 6-1 on Matitude for Jose Magana with Torrealba.
Yeah, it might come down just a touch. I mean, we'll see. But I at that kind of a number, it definitely attracted to me. The barn, yes, chilly as can be. Let's get back to the winner's circle. I think just to set up with a couple of these horses scrambling for the lead, a clean run into the turn, Matitude, I think, against this group, is a drop in class to go ahead and make the move from just off the pace.
Let's go to the next race. Race number 6, 15-1 Tam Char for Charlie Frock, Raul Mena on the number 4 horse. Like I said, to start off that late pick 4.
Yeah, this is a mare. She's quality, and she's really relished the off going. She has speed to get into contention. She has enough finish from the quarter pole home. I think they're going to be going quick. The timing is going to have to be just right because company's going to be coming late with horses like Anonymously and our other horse in there, the Toledo runner, Utterly Enchanting, going to be making that run from the back of the pack. But 15-1, yes, we're going to take that.
All right, we look forward to the stakes action. Thank you, Keith, for getting us through these 9 races here on Saturday, and we will see you to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.